Good morning. Thank you very much for joining us here on Times Now. This is the newspaper show and I'm Hina Gambhir. So let's get started and tell you what's making headlines this morning as far as the Times of India is concerned. The biggest story that the Times of India today is leading with is after talking of expanding G7, Trump invites Modi to summit. In telecom, duo discussed China, WHO and COVID-19. That's the big story that Times of India today is leading with. US President Donald Trump on Tuesday formally invited Prime Minister Narendra Modi to attend the G7 summit to be held in the US later this year, acting on his desire to expand the size as well as the scope of the grouping of world major economic powers. Then Prime Minister Modi has said industry must tap world's trust in India. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Tuesday invoked trust and reliability to urge domestic industry to manufacture products for the international markets and to be part of the global supply chain, while suggesting that this could turn out to be the mantra to get back growth faster. Then another big story is India among 30 countries that have been downgraded. Apart from India, over 30 countries including France, South Africa, Saudi Arabia, Israel, Thailand and Argentina have had their ratings downgraded or outlook changed by global rating agencies Moody's this year as COVID hit economies across the globe. Then another story is about India's corona count. 10% of India's population, which is 60 years and above, accounts for 50% COVID deaths. That's an important update. Our corona count, in fact, has hit the 2 lakh mark. 2 lakh positive cases of coronavirus are there in the country. And this is a very interesting analysis on the front page that tells you that how India has taken 97 days to reach from 1 case to 50,000 cases. Then another 50,000 cases were added in just 12 days. And then another 50,000, that is from 1 lakh to 1,50,000, happened in just 9 days. And then India has taken only 6 days, viewers, to add another 50,000 cases in the country to hit 2 lakh. Only 6 days were taken. And then deaths at 2 lakh stage, India has 5,821 deaths, which is on a lower side as compared to countries like Brazil, Spain, Italy and UK, which when they had 2 lakh cases recorded more number of deaths. For example, in UK, when 2 lakh cases were reported, 30,076 people had already lost their lives. And then there's another important story. MHA has allowed charter flights with foreigners. That's another big development that has taken place. Then an update on the cyclonic storm Nisarga, which is expected to hit Maharashtra and Gujarat coast today. We'll tell you in detail about this story in just a bit. And ED has e-filed its charge sheet in the INX media case. The Enforcement Directorate on Tuesday filed a charge sheet against former Finance Minister P. Chidambaram and his son, Congress MP Karti, for alleged money laundering to the INX media bribery case. That's another important update here. Then Gurgaon to check passes again as Khattar cites Delhi's border sealing. Well, again, you can expect a lot of chaos and confusion at the border because last time also when the Chief Minister of Haryana announced the sealing of the border, we saw a lot of chaos. We'll get you more details as well on this in just a bit. Then Manu Sharma's life term ends after 17 years. That's another big story. Siddharth Vashisht, better known as Manu Sharma, the killer of Jessica Lal, walked out of Tihar jail on Monday after Lieutenant Governor Anil Baijal approved the Delhi government's recommendation for his premature release. Then there is an important update about Assam, which has suddenly seen a spike in coronavirus cases, and now there have been landslides as well, which have taken the lives of 21 people. A series of landslides triggered by pre-monsoon torrential rains across Assam's Barak Valley killed at least 21 people, which include 3 women, 10 children. Among the dead was a family of 7. A tragic news coming from Assam there. Then day 1, Corona app and city hospitals at odds. Remember, yesterday only the Delhi Chief Minister had announced had launched a new app for Delhi specifically. They can track the number of beds that are available. This is an analysis of what really happened on day 1. Delhi Chief Minister launched a new mobile phone app called Delhi Corona on Tuesday to inform people about the availability of beds in various state-run and private hospitals. However, there were certain discrepancies that were detected on the day of the launch only. While the app shows availability of beds in most hospitals, when calls were made during the day to the centralized numbers by Times of India, at least 10 out of 25 city hospitals claimed that they had no beds available at all. So this is something that is going to be significant. Then BJP chief Manoj Tiwari is out. Ex-mayor has now been made the BJP chief. BJP on Tuesday appointed Adesh Gupta, sitting councillor and ex-mayor of NDMC, as Delhi unit chief. He replaced two-term MP Manoj Tiwari. Then 750 road deaths have happened during lockdown. A total of 750 deaths and 1,461 road accidents were recorded in India between March 24 and May 30. People were still coming out and 750 people lost their lives as well. Sports stars now shine in battle against COVID. That's another important story. Shami gives food and masks to migrants. Their talent on the field elevated them to sporting stardom. Now they're quietly taking on another adversary. A number of sports personalities in government service are on the front lines of COVID-19 fight and in an impressive roll call. Haryana Deputy Superintendent of Police Joginder Sharma, who bowled the heart-stopping last over in 2007 T20 World Cup final against Pakistan that India won by 2 runs, can now be seen patrolling the roads, offering masks to violators. Sometimes when people get to know who I am, the conversation takes a light-hearted tone and we almost always end up discussing the match, he said. A very interesting story here as well on the front page of the Times of India. Moving on now, and let's get you the latest as far as the Navbharat Times is concerned. और यहाँ पर जो बड़ी खबर आज नवभारत टाइम्स ने फ्रंट पेज पे दिखाई है वो है कोरोना वायरस से जुड़ी हुई। एलजी ऑफिस में मिले कोरोना के 13 पॉजिटिव मामले। दिल्ली एलजी ऑफिस में 13 कोरोना पॉजिटिव केसेस आए हैं, उसके बारे में जानकारी है। दिल्ली में नया रिकॉर्ड बन गया है। एक दिन में 1298 न्यू पेशेंट्स जो हैं दिखे, तो ये भी एक बड़ी खबर है। और यहाँ पर एक तस्वीर दिखाई है कि इस तरह से दिल्ली में सैलून्स, बार्बर शॉप सब खुल गए हैं, तो इस तरह से काम चल रहा है। जो सैलून ऑफिशियल्स, वर्कर्स हैं, वो पूरे पीपी सूट उन्होंने पहना हुआ है। दिल्ली में मंगलवार से सैलून खुल गए हैं। सैलून संचालक सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग का पालन कर रहे हैं। कई जगह बाजारों में लोग खरीदारी करने भी पहुंचना अब शुरू हो गए हैं। और इसी के साथ ही कितने बेड खाली चंद सेकंड में बताएगा दिल्ली का कोरोना ऐप, जो कल लॉन्च की थी कोरोना ऐप, उसके बारे में भी जानकारी है। और लॉक दिखे बॉर्डर, सड़कें हुई जाम। दिल्ली चीफ मिनिस्टर ने अनाउंस कर दिया है अपना बॉर्डर सील रहेगा दिल्ली का, उसकी वजह से इस तरह के जैम्स नजर आए थे दिल्ली में। और अच्छे बर्ताव के आधार पर उम्र कैद काट रहा मनु 17 साल बाद ही रिहा हो गया है। ये एक और बड़ी खबर है फ्रंट पेज पर ही। सिखों के 5 धार्मिक स्थल जोड़े जाएंगे। दिल्ली कटरा एक्सप्रेसवे की अमृतसर से अब नई कनेक्टिविटी होगी। इंपॉर्टेंट खबर यहाँ पर भी है। बीजेपी की कमान मनोज तिवारी की जगह अब आदेश गुप्ता को संभालने को दे दी गई है। ताहिर को दंगे का मास्टरमाइंड कहा पुलिस ने। चीन से विवाद के बीच मोदी ने ट्रंप से बातचीत की, ये भी एक बड़ी खबर है यहाँ पर। और साथ ही में जो साइक्लोन निसर्ग आने वाला है उसके बारे में भी यहाँ पर जानकारी दी है। 2 तस्वीरें हैं। आज मुंबई से टकरा सकता है साइक्लोन निसर्ग, और यहाँ पर दिखाया है किस तरह से सारे फिशरमैन को वापस ले लिया गया है। और उसी के साथ एक और बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट खबर है। असम में भूस्खलन यानी कि लैंडस्लाइड होने से 20 लोगों की मौत हो गई है। यहाँ पर भी स्थिति काफी ज्यादा खराब होती जा रही है। और प्रधानमंत्री मोदी ने कल कहा विकास की अपनी गति पालेंगे, अब उद्योग संगठन देश को आत्मनिर्भर बनाए। And this is the latest as far as Navbharat Times is concerned. Let's get you the latest now from the Economic Times, the world of business and economy. The big story is what is happening in India's banking sector. That's the story that the Economic Times today is leading with. Banks seek RBI not to recast 3 lakh crore loans minus downgrade. Loans given to hospitality, aviation and commercial realty companies that are among worst hit pandemic, expecting major defaults by borrowers. In any case, RBI has allowed moratorium as well in various categories of loans. So banks are now extremely worried. A couple of days ago, they discussed about a possibility of a bad bank, and now they are seeking RBI is not to recast loans worth 3 lakh crore rupees. We'll see whether this gets approved or not. Saloni Shukla has reported this. Now, this is an interesting breakup as well that has been given of the total exposure of banks. 2.3 lakh crore has been given to commercial real estate operations. 45,000 crore has been given to the hospitality sector. 30,000 crore has been given to the aviation sector. And banks feel that these could become bad loans because these are the sectors which have got impacted severely because of lockdown, and no immediate help also has come from the government side. So that's why banks are seeking not to recast these loans. Then another story is what Prime Minister Modi said yesterday. He was addressing the industry, the who's who of India Inc. He said, will bring India back on growth track. Bolstering economy against COVID-19 pandemic, our top priority. This is what Prime Minister told CII. Then Uday Kotak has sold 2.8% in Kotak Mahindra Bank for 6,900 crore rupees. Bid to meet norms. Kotak holds 26.1% after sale and has till September to prune holding by 0.1% more. So that is the development that has taken place on Dalal Street. Then RIL's rights issue subscribed 1.3 times on penultimate day. Company shares close at 1,536, a 22% premium to its rights price offer of 1,257 rupees. Then talks are underway to privatize some public sector banks. That's another story on the front page. Punjab and Sindh Bank of Maharashtra, Indian Overseas Bank are among possible names there. And let's get now started with the city-specific editions. And today we just want to change the order a little bit. And instead of starting from Delhi, we are going to begin from Mumbai edition of the Times of India, because there is a storm, a cyclonic storm, which has intensified into a very severe cyclonic storm now, and it is going to hit in Alibag, and Mumbai is expected to see a major impact. My colleague Kajal Iyer is joining us on the broadcast. Kajal, I have two questions for you. First, I want a quick update on the status as far as this cyclone is concerned.
As of now, we are being told that the cyclone is around 200 kilometers away from Mumbai, and it is approaching fast. Next 6 hours is when it is expected to be at its peak in terms of how it will actually play out. And so we are drizzling in most parts of Mumbai right now. We are at Dadar right now, and you can see that the sea is slightly rough. But beyond that, right now we aren't seeing too much wind. The wind speeds are expected to pick up by 2:30 in the afternoon. The landfall is expected near Alibag, and from there on, the rest of the day is what we are being told. But as of now, only mild drizzles, not much wind here in Mumbai.
Ajal, there is another thing that has been reported on the front page of the Times of India, is that Chief Minister has deferred reopening by 2 days. Section 144 has also been imposed in the city as storm surge forecast. The storm surge in Mumbai is expected to be around 1 to 2 meters, which could inundate the low-lying areas according to IMD. And now Section 144 has also been imposed.
This has been imposed on promenades and beaches. We had also reported this yesterday, because technically today was the day when outdoor physical activity, jogging, walking, etc., bicycling, etc., was to be allowed. But the Chief Minister, in an address late last night, said that we will have to defer this plan for 2 days because of the cyclone. So all of that has now been deferred to say the 5th, when the second phase was supposed to begin. Today was the first phase of the unlock down in Maharashtra, but that has completely now been deferred to the 5th. So people are advised not to walk, go for walking or jogging, and especially avoid anywhere near the seafronts. That is the advice that has come from the government.
And could you also just show us around a little bit and tell us, Kajal, a little bit more about the kind of evacuation that has taken place? It is going to be, perhaps the biggest cyclone that Mumbai is going to see in over a century, and low-lying areas are expected to get impacted near Alibag and other areas of the western coast. So what kind of evacuation that has taken place?
Around 19,000 people have been evacuated across the state, and 15 teams of the NDRF have been put across the coastline of the state. And if my camera person can just show you around, like I said, we are at Dadar. Here we can see there is a little bit of wind, but not as much. And the sea is expected to get more and more rough as the time passes. And the evacuation processes have mainly been undertaken in Mumbai suburbs, that is in Kiri region, especially where is also currently located. Versova and Juhu, the fishing villages there, some of them have been evacuated. A total of 19,000 in 4 different districts of Maharashtra, that is Thane, Raigad, Palghar and Mumbai district, have been evacuated to safer places.
All right. Thank you very much, Kajal. You also stay safe. We'll, of course, be coming back to you for more on this big story of the day, Cyclone Nisarga. The landfall is expected this afternoon. We are now moving on to another shocking update coming at this point in time. In an ordeal reported through the Facebook post of a section forest officer at the Silent Valley Park, a 15-year-old pregnant elephant had met with a tragic death after few hooligans had fed pineapple packed with the firecrackers, which eventually exploded in its mouth. The elephant died on the spot. Shocking news, in fact, coming there. Vivek Karindalam, my colleague, is now joining us on the broadcast. Vivek, give us more details.
Yes, this particular shocking incident took place on the 27th of May when a group of police, officers, forest officials actually spotted this elephant, standing with its, with its head, lying low in the Villiya River in Malappuram. It's at that point of time they came to know that this elephant was bleeding. Somehow they managed to get this elephant back, out of this particular river, and then they, out of the, then there was after the autopsy, it was very clear that pineapple filled with crackers was fed to this elephant at least some 40 to 50 minutes back from the village nearby by a few hooligans, because this elephant was actually going out in search of food. And it was then that these group of antisocial elements actually fed this elephant with a pineapple filled with firecrackers. This firecrackers eventually exploded in its mouth, causing injuries to its mouth and tongue. And then she was taken to a nearby hospital. By the time she was treated, she was declared dead. A very shocking case of animal abuse that's been reported. Now, what I understand from the sources in Palakkad and Malappuram is that this is not the first time such elephants have been targeted. Earlier in Kollam, in Pathanapuram also, there was a similar incident that was reported. So basically what we understand is that to target wild boars, these kind of things have been done by a section of hooligans in these areas. And this time it was a 15-year-old pregnant elephant. Now remember this, the whole ordeal came to light after a section forest officer called Mohan Krishnan actually narrated the ordeal in his Facebook post yesterday.
Completely inhuman, the most brutal kind of an abuse by the hooligans as you're talking about. We really hope that action is taken against such people and this doesn't happen. And something really needs to be done about, a tragic incident like this. Thank you, Vivek, for the moment for joining us with all of those details. We are now moving on to the Delhi edition of the Times of India. And here the big story is about how Gurgaon has also now decided that passes will be checked as Khattar cites Delhi's border sealing. My colleague Sherin is joining us on the broadcast. Sherin, good morning. So Delhi has seen 1,298 new cases in the city, 33 more deaths reported. It's just increasing every single day and we are getting more relaxations as well. Perhaps people are not taking enough precautionary measures, it seems.
Well, that's what it seems like, Hina, because on a daily basis we are seeing that 500 to 1,000 cases are coming in light. Now, yesterday itself there were over 1,000 cases that was reported in last 24 hours, which has taken the COVID-19 cases in the tally to over 22,000. Now, the government approach has been that because of the relaxation, they expected that there is going to be the increase in the cases, and accordingly, a month before itself, they are taking all the necessary precautions. Now, yesterday itself, itself, they have launched Corona app. The Delhi government has launched Corona app based on which the people in Delhi can actually see the status of the beds and ventilators available in private and government hospitals, and accordingly they can approach the hospital. So with the increasing numbers, the Delhi government says that they are in fact preparing themselves to deal with the situation, because we have seen time and again the Chief Minister of Delhi also saying that we cannot live in a permanent lockdown, and there is a need. People needs to understand that we have to live with COVID-19. So accordingly, there are some changes that is being made on ground, but obviously the rising numbers are obviously a concern for the people. There are in all municipal corporations are also doing proper.
All right. Thank you very much, Sharon, for the moment, for joining us with all of those details. Let's now show to our viewers the latest as far as Bengaluru edition of the Times of India is concerned. B.S. Yediyurappa has said file FIR against those who are violating home quarantine. So this is going to be very important. Karnataka among 5 states leading the economic recovery. Chennai edition has reported on the front page that as toll and case count keep rising, Tamil Nadu targets high-risk population. And lastly, a quick look at the Kolkata edition of the Times of India. COVID cases take a leap in state Kolkata. 116 have tested positive in the city, 396 cases in just a single day in West Bengal. And here also it is becoming a cause of concern because of the movement of migrant laborers. Moving on now to the Times Global edition, the news there from around the world. Tensions rise as unrest in U.S. claims lives. Trump threatens army action. Peaceful demonstrators tear-gassed for president's photo op in front of a church. That's the big story. China delayed in giving corona info, frustrating WHO. This is a COVID-related development. A whistleblower's colleague too dies. Another story. World outrage grows. EU shocked and appalled. Let's now move on to the world of sports. My colleague Karishma is joining us on the broadcast. Karishma, good morning. What's making news today?
Good morning, Hina. Well, what we can tell you is that today is the last date for applying for the prestigious Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna Awards and the Arjuna Awards. And what we learn is that Hockey India has, in fact, nominated the Indian women's captain Rani Rampal for the Khel Ratna Award, because in the last 4 years, she has achieved a lot for Indian hockey, including helping the Indian women's team qualify for the Olympics that will now be held in 2021 in Japan, in Tokyo. And table tennis star also Manika Batra has been nominated for the Khel Ratna Award because she achieved a gold medal in the singles event in the Commonwealth Games, and she created history for India after winning that medal. So these two women in sport are raising the bar for Indian sport and nominated for the Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna Award, Hina.
All right, Karishma, thank you very much for the moment, for joining us with all of those details. And these are the stories that you can find as far as the Daily Times page is concerned. That's it for the moment. Thank you very much for staying with us here on the Newspaper Show.